While the decision might be easy for Carlton, it's still one that Essendon's board has to grapple with, as in who will lead Essendon in 2027. James Hird still lingers large. Mark McVeigh is also in the conversation, as are Murray Davis and Jamie Graham. In fact, Jamie Graham, the only candidate on both the shortlist at Essendon and at Carlton. Now, when it comes to coaching Essendon next year, well, fair to say, the great Lee Matthews wouldn't be fond of the gig. Here's what he had to say on 3RW Saturday Footy Preview.
As a coach, I wouldn't be going to Essendon. If you desperately want a job, you'd go for it, right? But anyone who's got choices ain't going to Essendon. Coach is only as good as what's around him in players and staff and support from the top. I'd love to be coach under Brendan Gale. I'd be happy to coach under the CEOship of Graham Wright. I mean, people like that. To me, from the outside, I mean, I don't know the Essendon people as well, that well. I'm only looking from afar, but I'd have no confidence to coach under that regime.
Is that unfair from Lee to say that he doesn't know the regime that well, but he doesn't have any confidence to coach?
He's probably looking from afar how they've gone about things, but it probably is a little unfair. When you don't know the personalities of the people who are charged, and we know they've been, a pretty ordinary club for a fair while, but there's few circumstances, but they haven't got it right. I think that's a little bit unfair, not knowing them.
Andrew Welch has only taken over in the last year. Tim Roberts has only taken over 4 months ago in the role of CEO.
There's about 5 newbies in there.
I mean, there are clearly people putting their name forward to coach
Teddy
Essendon,
Richards.
and Jamie Graham is the only one that actually may have a choice, and even then he may not be selected for either gig and may not have a choice at all.
I agree with his comments that you can't have a lot of confidence in them. I don't think they've shown why you could have a lot of confidence in the regime. I know they're new, but the reason they're new is because there's been so much turmoil.
Yeah, but you've got to give them a chance, don't you? Don't you give them
but at this stage,
you don't know them personally.
At this stage, they haven't worked up to a point where you can say you've got confidence.
He's probably
maybe give him more time.
He's looking historically as well, isn't he, Lee? I would suggest.
Yeah, I think if he's going back, you would say that's right. But you've got to know who's taken over. Like Teddy Richards, you wouldn't meet a better person in football or off field, just how he goes about things. I'd have confidence in Teddy Richards having a decision over me or over a coach.
Shorey, how can you appoint James Hird above those other 3 candidates who have been at the coalface? But Murray Davis at Brisbane and Adelaide. Jamie Graham at West Coast and now Freo. West Coast when they won a flag. Freo on top of the ladder, the best Fremantle team ever. Mark McVeigh, been around, coached the Giants, been at Sydney, a very successful. I just don't see, and this is nothing against James Hird, one of the champion players of all time, but he hasn't been at the coalface. How can he get the job in front of those other guys?
He's got to sell himself. That's the only way. He has to go in there and say, I believe I can do this job because of this, and this. And I know the culture he knows really well, so that's a bonus in one way. But I'm with you.
But the other guys' resumes look better as far as being at other clubs that have been successful.
But he might have something stand. And you've got to remember, we've got Matty Lloyd who's come out now and just said, I think this bloke, because he's seen some of his presentation and said, I think he can cope with it. Now, Matty's a pretty intelligent bloke.
But he hasn't seen what Jamie Graham and Murray Davis and Mark McVeigh have done. I mean, Graham's at Fremantle, who are the best Fremantle team ever. They're averaging over 100 points at Optus Stadium. They haven't lost a game at Optus Stadium. He's in charge of the forward line, which is absolutely firing. They're the best defence in the competition since 2009.
Yep.
How?
But Richo, you tell me how. You're asking me the question. I'm trying to say.
Well, I don't see how you can.
It's going to be something that stands out above what Jamie Graham is offering. That's all it is, mate. And whether you think it's just because they're biased about what's going on.
Hird's a fan favourite, obviously. The Essendon supporter base love him. He's a champion.
That's a big box.
But surely
where the club is at the moment.
So you think that's more important than having
I'm not saying it's more important.
But
I'm saying
2 weeks ago you said he should get the job now.
Yeah, and I'm saying it is important.
Above what I've just said there, with Murray Davis has been at Brisbane when they win flags.
It's absolutely fair point.
Went to Adelaide last year and they go finish the year on top of the ladder.
I think the biggest hurdle Murray Davis and Jamie Graham have is they go into the senior role next year. The list is still what it is. They're 0-7, 0-8, and they get no buy-in from the members. They get no buy-in from the sponsors. We told you we wanted Hird. We never wanted these outsiders. And with all due respect to Jamie Graham and Murray Davis, they are unknown quantities to the vast majority of supporters, and I don't think they would be welcome. I think
unknown quantities. The runs are on the board, aren't they? When you look at that,
they've got in a footy sense. Yes, I think they are unknown. If you went up to the average Essendon supporter and you said pick Murray Davis and Jamie Graham out of a lineup, they'd have no idea.
No, they would.
I'm being realistic.
I get that, but that's you can't be appointing coaches.
The fan base is right.
But you can't appoint coaches on that.
I get the feeling Mark McVeigh.
You can't, but they've made a point about having an Essendon person.
I think Spike is going to tick some
at Optus Stadium Friday night. There were a few people.
You reckon Spike's going to get the job ahead of James Hird?
Spike ticks the Essendon box. He ticks the Essendon box. Yeah. He ticks the assistant coach box. He's gone through the program at GWS. He's gone through the program more recently at Sydney.
Oh, boy. I'm with Shane. Mark McVeigh has got more runs on the board as far as coaching.
But this might be built on nepotism, this whole decision about getting this bloke back in. A Messiah to cover your backside from a board who mightn't have the strength to carry it. And maybe Lee Matthews is right. You can see it from outside.
But why couldn't Mark McVeigh get it over Jamie Graham and Murray Davis?
I'm with you on Mark McVeigh. People over in Perth Friday night, there were a few people talking about Mark McVeigh.
He just needs to sort out the personal side of things. Family, lives in New South Wales, kids, all of that.
We know why James Hird's going to get the job if he gets the job. And all the things that you've said about bringing the Messiah back, covering your backside, let him get there. They'll give him time because of who he is, and he won't have that issue.
Can I throw one up to you? Mark McVeigh comes in. Could Essendon still offer a supplementary role to a James Hird?
Oh, yeah.
Why couldn't you?
You could, but I don't think
McVeigh is good.
McVeigh could coach. Hird could be some like a head of the
mentor,
head of the coaching or something like that.
Football department.
Yeah.
So you
could have
Spike as the front man,
and then Hird has another role which
that'll placate the fan base.
Do you think James Hird would want that?
Nope.
That I don't know. No. But he wants what's in the best interest of the football club. He has said that.
Yeah, but come on. I want what's in the best interest of his radio show, but I'm out for myself.
I'm glad someone said it.
Wow.
Thank you. Can we get that on tape? We've all believed it for a long time. Now she said it.
When we get the best radio program, Ackery, we know who's going up, don't we?
There's no I in team, right? Wow-wee.
Before we leave the Bombers, obviously, whoever takes the reins is someone that will be looking to get some experience into this team as well. We threw it around. I can't remember if it was off it or on air last night. Some of the ilk, of Scott Pendlebury to come to Essendon for a year as a player leader, then as an assistant coach in a similar mould to a Luke Hodge or a Sam Mitchell. Is that something that the Bombers should be looking at?
I believe that he might have a year off.
A year off?
Okay. Yeah.
He did tell us 2 weeks ago that
I believe he will. Yeah. He just wants to maybe get away from it and then bang. He'll do his research and do what he does behind the scene, but that's how I believe at the moment. But, gee, he'd be good.
So you're getting a bit of mail that McVeigh might have the job, you reckon, Sean?
Well, I got
a text Friday night from a guy who thinks he knows things in football, and he said Mark McVeigh as well.
The Hird steam train just doesn't seem to have as much puff as it did a couple of weeks ago.
Good luck to him.
And I think Mark McVeigh, you go through what the club needs and what the club wants.
Ticks a lot of boxes.
You tick a few boxes, and again, no disrespect to Jamie Graham and Murray Davis, but I think where Essendon is at the moment, at such a low ebb, and someone to bring the club together.
Well, Essendon fans like that, McVeigh?
Spike, I would suspect
so. So.
Yeah.
I would absolutely think so. And the fact that he came from a successful program at the Giants, a successful program at Sydney, who currently sits second on the ladder. I mean, your question mark over Hirdy has been the fact he hasn't been in a...
That's my only question mark. I get all the other stuff.
So
therefore, just the fact that he hasn't been in Mark's in a coach's box yesterday.
Would you address him as Spike at the press conference?
You could.
Because I think he'd take it nicely.
You used to be able to say dimmer, Damien Hardwick.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Hey,
Spike's like talking to me dog. Spike, get over here, boy.